Good morning, class. Our objective for math today is we're going to add and subtract fractions with common denominators. And what common denominators means, it has the same denominator. The only way you can add a fraction or subtract a fraction is if it has a common denominator. Let's take a look at some of our examples today. First of all, we may use fraction manipulatives to help us add or subtract fractions. Use your fraction manipulatives to illustrate this addition, then write the number sentence for the addition. So if we were at school, we would have these little fraction pieces. Obviously, you don't have those right now, but it's pretty easy. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to write it out horizontally with each other, 2/4 plus 1/4. And now I'm going to give you a little saying, and I want you to say it throughout the lesson. Add the numerators. Remember, fraction is numerator over denominator. Add the numerator, keep the denominator. Keep the 4. You got a 4 and a 4. Keep the 4. Keep it. Just keep that 4. And add the numerator. I know it's really super tough. 2 plus 1. I'll give you some time. 3. Good job. And that's the fraction. Let's see what it looks like in picture form. We have 2 pieces of pizza. And we're going to add one more 4th piece of pizza. So we're just going to take this piece of pizza and we're going to put it over here on this one. And how many do we have? Count with me. 1, 2, 3. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that's what it looks like. We're just actually putting these pieces together. Now the book does it without the full circle. It's just like you shove this one over there and we put it all together. So say it with me again. Add the numerator, keep the denominator. Notice they're the same. And they're going to be the same all the way across. 4, 4, 4. 2 plus 1. So we're really just adding the top. Keep the bottom. Okay? It says, notice that the denominators of the fractions we added in 2/4 and 1/4 are the same. Fractions with the same denominators are said to have common denominators. When fractions have common denominators, we can add or subtract the fraction simply by adding or subtracting the numerator. We do not subtract or add the denominators. They say add the numerator, leave the denominator. I say keep the denominator. Okay, example number 2 here says, okay, we're not going to use manipulatives. Then write the number sentence for the subtraction. Example number 2, 7/10 minus 4/10. Say it with me. Subtract the numerators. Keep the denominators. I like to do the denominator first. That's easy. 10, 10, 10. And now we just subtract. And the subtraction problems are usually very easy. 7 minus 4 equals 3. There was 7/10 piece of pizza. I ate 4 of them. How many do I have left? 3. Some went away. Subtract the numerators. Keep the denominators. Example number 3. Bach-Yen mixed 1/4 cups of juice concentrate with 1 2/4 cups of water. Find the total amount of the juice by adding the mixed numbers. When we add mixed numbers, I like to say box, 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 box. And we're going to do that for now because later on they're going to give you ones that don't have whole numbers and some don't have fractions. So box, box is just whole number over whole number, fraction over fraction. That way you don't get it confused. So 1/4, you write the whole number in the first box and 1/4 here. In the second none, you got 1 2/4. Whole numbers over whole numbers, fractions over fractions. And just like when we add normally, we always start on the right. Add the numerators, keep the denominators. 4, 4, 4. 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 plus 1 is 2. Remember the mixed numbers got to have a bigger, taller number here, and then the fraction is as tall as it. So my answer is 2 3/4. 2 3/4. Okay, so same thing as we did with our fractions up here. We do with our fractions here. Just you have to add these little whole numbers. All right, we got 2 more examples here. It says number 4. There are 2.5 chicken pot pies. We've been talking a lot about pot pies the last few days. Tupac ate 1.5 pot pies. To find the number of pot pies left in the refrigerator, subtract 2 box, 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 box. 2.5 minus 1.5. Now a half minus a half is nothing. You can write 0 over 2, but if you ever have a fraction with 0 on top, there's nothing there. Here's my half, and nothing shaded. So there's no pizza left. And then 2 minus 1 is 1. And so when you get an answer like this, your answer is 1. And that's pretty easy to see in the picture language, right? We had 2.5. We took away 1.5. We ate this half of a pot pie, and the kids ate this half of a pot pie. And what do we have left? 1. Example number 5. Federico estimated that it'll take 2.5 hours to finish his reading book and 1.5 hours to write a book report. To find the amount of time he needs to finish them, add these. Oh my, they're throwing one more trick at us. Box, 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 box. 2.5 plus 1.5. Add the numerators, keep the denominators. 1 plus 1 is 2, and keep the 2. Now that's kind of strange. I got 2 halves. What would that look like in picture language? I cut a circle in half, and I have all of that pizza. And I cut, and if I have all of it, I really have a whole. So we got to add one more jingle to us. Any number over itself equals 1. Any number over itself equals 1. So 2 over 2 actually equals 1 whole. So we're going to regroup that 1 up here just like we would if we had 10 ones. We put a 1 here. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. Your answer would be 3 and 2 over 2. Your real answer would be 4. Any number over itself equals 1. Alright, now I divide the last box into fourths with a T. And we're going to do all of these down here. I know, they're super easy. 1/10 plus 2/10. Say it with me. Add the numerator. Keep the denominator. 3/10. Add the numerator. Keep the denominator. B. 3/4 minus 2/4. Again, subtract the numerators. Keep the denominators. 3 minus 2 is 1. Keep the denominator. 1/4. Check out C. Box, 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 box. 1.5 plus 1.5. Anytime we have 2 halves, you're going to have a whole. Let's go ahead and add it. 1 plus 1 is 2 over 2. 2 over 2 equals 1. Regroup the 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. And then the last one, I see it's a mixed number, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my boxes. Whole numbers over whole numbers. Fractions over fractions. 3/10 minus 1/10, 4/10 minus 1/10 equals 3/10. Subtract the numerator, keep the denominator. And then 3 minus 1 equals 2. 2 and 3/10. Alright guys, we got 3 things that we want to remember. Add or subtract the numerator, keep the denominator. Add or subtract the numerator, keep the denominator. Whenever you got a mixed number, use our box method. Today it was pretty easy, but soon they'll start throwing tricks at us. So I want to start getting this in our brains. And then anytime you have any number over itself, it equals 1, and regroup that 1. Anytime you have any number over itself, it equals 1. Have a great day. We'll check you on the second video for a little help on our assignments.